Of tears,
God, Heavenly Father, Jesus.
prayers, and hugs today in the Palm Beach County Courthouse.
Your life is in 12 jurors' hands. That's a scary feeling. So definitely was nervous, and we definitely pray a lot. We have unwavering faith. So
Travis Rudolph cleared on the first-degree murder and 3 first-degree attempted murder charges against him. The case stems back to a deadly shooting in April 2021 after an argument with Rudolph's alleged girlfriend. Rudolph's older sister, Tierney Coleman, says the key evidence in this case was her family's testimony, also applauding the defense attorneys.
I think that Mark did a really, really good job exposing the truth and allowing the jury and the world to see what really happened.
Rudolph says more than anything, he looks forward to his life getting back to normal.
and I finally got my freedom back. I can get back to my life, man.
Thank you, God. Thank you for just making this day happen. And I love you.
We wanted to reach out to both sides and heard back from the state attorney's office, their spokesperson, saying this, and I quote, "Although we may disagree with the jury's verdict, it's their job to determine from the facts whether a defendant is guilty or not guilty. We respect the jury's decision. Our thoughts are with the victims and their families in this case." Reporting from the Palm Beach County Courthouse, Chris Gilmore, WPTV News Channel 5.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Man Cave. We are Ryan and Corey. You listen to the Much About Nothing podcast, the show where we have expert takes, good-hearted debates. We talk ball and anything and everything else. Today, we talking everything else. If you got something to say, please put it in the comments. If you're new to the pod, greetings. Hit the subscribe button, turn on the notifications, smash that bell. If you're already part of the fam, welcome back. Please like, share, and comment. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Let's get into it.
What's up, y'all? What's up? Man, we were so ready to do this episode, but we wanted to give y'all our full, undivided attention and make sure we dived into this thing. When it dropped last week, we said it's probably not the best to be first, probably best to be right. So we waited on this thing. I shot this episode. We prepared very, very, very. I ain't seen hours and hours and hours of testimony, probably more than more than I want to indulge in. But hey, man, we do it for y'all, man. So we're gonna dive into this thing. Actually, my notes is over to the left, so y'all forgive me while I reach over and grab them.
Hey, if y'all would, hey, give me a let me see somebody in the comments. I'm gonna do a comment check.
Comment check. And shouts out to Kevin beating Tiff to the first comment out there. Shout out, Cat.
Oh man,
Do you have old
I
girls?
think the comments gonna be good on this one, man. I don't know if this
I
gonna be
couldn't
much of a
shorten
debate.
her testimony, man. Her testimony was probably like 12 minutes, man. I couldn't put 12 minutes worth of testimony up here, man. Dead serious. I couldn't. I tried to clip it, man. I tried my best to clip up testimony, but for real, hey, man, we just gonna have to get into it. My bad, Care, but it couldn't shorten it. For some reason I got to find out how to clip these things. Oh my God, it's frozen again. Am I frozen? Y'all let me know. Can y'all see me? Hey, somebody in the comments, let me know. Can y'all see me? Because me and him had a whole argument before this thing that I want the one that was frozen. Please let me know y'all see me. Please don't let. I might be the one frozen in here. Let me go to this thing. No, I'm up here. I'm the one live. Yeah. So it's him. Yeah, that girl is a sociopath, man. We're gonna talk right quick. Thank y'all, man. We had a whole conversation. Hemp over there talking to me saying, "Yo, you froze. I'm like, listen here, bro. I'm playing, yo. And I'm gonna feel good when he come back because now I'm gonna laugh at the situation. How y'all don't understand how you think he's always right. I know he was frozen, yo. But neither here nor there. When he comes back, and here he is. Hey, welcome back to the Much About Nothing podcast, where the conversation is how you were the one that was frozen. How I said
it was me. I don't know, man. Look, man, we got to.
They saw me the whole time. I knew it wasn't me.
Hey, we got to switch this platform, man. It got to be the platform, bro.
It got to be the platform.
Yeah,
Well, you
it's
and
strong.
froze 2 times in one day. We hope we gonna keep you in here. But let's start this thing out, kick this thing out. Shout outs to everybody in the comments. Hey Tara, that is my sister in here. Yo, welcome. Thank you for tuning in. Shout out to George. Shout out to Tiff. Shout out to Kevin. All of you out here. The much about family is here. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. So we're gonna start this thing out with an overall rundown of the trial. Travis Rudolph's case and thoughts. Do you have the case at hand?
Yeah, I got some of the recap. So
Like a basic rundown of like what was presented. You ain't got to go deep into the details, but
okay, yeah. I mean, yeah. Give me 1 second. I'll pull it up.
I can do it. I got it right here.
Oh, go ahead.
Um,
Pull it up.
s- so about 3 years ago, on April 7th, 2021, Dominique Jones had an altercation with the suspect at hand, Travis Rudolph, in which there was an altercation that happened when they seemed to get a little physical. So she then called up her brother and friends, text them to come there and shoot the place up. Right. So they got there, and Travis came down the stairs and met them, and they proceeded to beat on him. And then after everything was finished, they end up going away and getting in their car and leaving. And in the process of that, they wound up shot. I'm trying not to give you I'm trying to be fair to both sides. They end up being shot. One was shot dead, one was wounded, and two of them escaped without injury. So that was and it was a couple of other people on the scene. So it was four individuals on the scene. Um and I have their names: Keyshawn Jones, Tyler Robinson, Christopher Lowe, and Sebastian John Jack. Sebastian was killed and Tyler was wounded. The name of the other people were Dominique Jones, his brother, Daryl Jones, and their mother, which is was Linda Rudolph. Linda Rudolph. Daryl Rudolph and not Dominique Jones, but Daryl Rudolph and Linda Rudolph and Travis Rudolph. Forgive me. But yes, this what happened. He fired 39 shots, 39 of them. Lay that vehicle down. So, we're gonna start this thing off with you. What's your overall thoughts on the case? Let me hear what you think. At the end of the day, if y'all don't know, he was acquitted. He was let go. He was found not guilty on all counts. So, what do you think? You think it was a good verdict? Think the jurors did right?
Man, look, we've been
He
going
was
this thing
holding
for
this close to the chest. He ain't let me know yet. I want to
man.
see how I'm gonna play this because I got to understand where he gonna go here. He don't want to let me know.
Man,
But
we've been working on this episode for 48 hours, and
honestly,
and I like the verdict, but I don't think it played out the way he wanted. I don't think he played out the way he portrayed it to. I think it was more him getting his leg back.
mm,
That's what I think. I don't think
that don't
it's
seem
a
like a
mess.
plan.
It's a messy situation. It's a messy
Hmm.
situation. Do I
I
think it
agree.
was self defense? I don't think it was self defense, but I get it. I get it. I mean, that's all I can say is I get it. But let's be thankful. Let's be thankful that that young man had the resources to not have a public defender. Because if he had a
Eh,
public defender, he'd be in jail right now.
Yeah, he probably would have lost this trial. Probably would have lost. But I agree with George. Legal system said on the one side is right. On the one side is right, man. You can't play both sides of this. If you was the jury, which way you would have voted? That's what I'm asking.
You
Would
know
you
which
would
way
have
I'd have
said,
voted for
huh?
different reasons. You know which way I'd have voted for different reasons. I don't want to see that man incarcerated. I mean, but
You can't. You gotta be impartial, cuz.
all right.
You gotta be impartial, brother.
I know better. I put it like this. I know better. I know this wasn't self defense. This was not self defense. It ain't right, but it's fair.
Well, me per se, I'm on the side of the person that were I think it was self defense. I think it was good. I think it was a fair. If I was the jury up there, I would have said. I mean, at the end of the day, this is. I think he had reasonable cause to fire his weapon, but also this is the reason why I would have said. No, I don't think they had enough evidence to prosecute him anyway. But I do believe his testimony, and that's two separate things. At the end of the day, it's a job of the prosecution to have, without a shadow of a doubt, be able to prove that man murdered them. They have to have that. They have to be able to show that to the jury. And I don't believe they did that. But at the same time, I believe the witness. I believe Travis Rudolph had probable cause to draw his weapon and shoot. And we're gonna get into that. Let's dive into it. We're gonna dive into the background of Travis Rudolph. You got the background? I'm pretty sure you just know that, right? My man got froze again. It's not me, y'all. Please don't tell me it's me. I don't think it's me. I think I'm still here. It's him. Well, oh no, you still here. It's gotta be you, bro. You freezing up. Yeah, but the background of Travis Rudolph, if you must know, he was a Florida State player, played at Florida State for about 3 years. Then he went to the Giants, where he played a couple years there before he went to the SFL, I believe. And then he's no longer playing football. Hamp, you back? Yeah. He's no longer playing. We're gonna put Hamp in time out till he come on back. But yeah, he's no longer playing at the time. But he was getting ready, and when this altercation seemed to break down. But let's see the incident details. So I would like him to be here while before I go into it. But like we said, the intricate details of the arguments is that when they arrive, and most people will, I think we'll start off on her. What do y'all think about her? Give me everybody in the chat. Let me know what y'all specifically think about her, Travis Rudolph's girlfriend. Because at the end of the day, I do not like the fact that the prosecution even put her on the stand. She was easily unlikable. If I may say so myself, she was easily unlikable by everything, her tone, her body language, everything I saw from this lady. She looked messy, totally messy. Trash. George said trash, straight up trash. Yes, I think she was awful. Travis Rudolph's girlfriend was terrible. At the end of the day, we got to talk about the background of what she did. She went through this man's phone. Found at the end of the day, do y'all think? I don't even think from his perspective they won't date him, but from her perspective, she was. And I can see Hamp is back here. All right. Hamp, I kicked on to Travis Rudolph's girlfriend, so because I didn't want to go through the case, but I
Yeah.
thought we could do that. So I was saying thoughts on Travis Rudolph's girlfriend. Do y'all think she was messy? Think she was a terrible human being? I think at the end of the day, she is responsible for everything that went down here.
Did you go?
Everything that went
Did you
down.
see? I don't know. Did you have a chance to go through the details just then?
No, I skipped over that because I didn't want to tell my perspective of the case without getting your perspective. So I thought I could get to that and use the audience. That's the reason why I went that
Okay.
way. But
All
we
right.
can
All right. So I'm good with this part. Let me explain for a lot of people that's not understanding what happened. So on the night in question, on
oh my God. Yeah.
on the night in
Yeah.
question, um, she decides to go through his phone. She goes through his phone. She finds something there that she doesn't like. Um, when I when she goes to the phone and finds what she doesn't like, um, she confronts him about it. They go to they he's there with his brother, and so he asks her to go to the back room so they could talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
They go to the back room so they could talk about it. This is all his side of the story. They go to the back room so they can talk about it. She gets upset. She starts hitting him with stuff. He claims that he didn't hit her back. Um, I'm inclined to believe him a little bit here. Um, he claims he didn't hit her back. Make a long story short, she hits him with trophies. She breaks his phone. She breaks his PlayStation. They end up outside. Um,
Yeah. End up outside, and like we said, we saw a bunch of swings, a bunch of hits. At the end of the day, I'm inclined to believe him because at the end of the day, if she got hit, she would be definitely showing the scars, the pictures of any wounds, and she ain't had none of that stuff. But we have video evidence that she struck Mr. Rudolph a few times at the end of the day. So Hemp goes in timeout again. I do not know wrong, my brother internet. I'm glad I restarted, man. But yes, I would agree that she's a very, very terrible person. She proceeded then for to text. If I'm not mistaken, it was Tyler Robinson and Keyshawn Jones, her brother. She texts them, come through and shoot his stuff up. Hamp, you back? Nope, still frozen. Yeah. So then proceed to text them to shoot that stuff up. That's when we get to the point of when all four of them arrive. Now, this testimony is kind of shoddy, man. At the end of the day, we can go through these testimonies one by one. I think the best testimony that you can get is oh, he back now. All right.
yeah, I'm switching
I'm
something
gonna
here.
leave you on the right side, bro, because I
Yeah,
don't know.
do that,
Maybe you're
man.
not good on the
I'm trying to
left.
switch something here.
I got you, man. I got you. But like I said, I think Travis Rudolph's testimony is the core of the testimony I want to go with because at the end of the day, I think it's flaws in just about every other testimony. I can attack all these testimonies very, very easily. Very, very easily. I do not like anything. It's obvious a lot of them were lying. It's obvious that at the end of the day, you can throw out Dominique Jones' testimony. She lied about texting. She tried to delete the text message that she said she'd come through, shoot the stuff up. She tried to delete the text message of they gonna kill you. All of these things. She tried to get rid of the evidence. At the end of the day, an innocent person does not do this. So if you lie to the face of a jury, if you lie about one thing, if you're caught in a lie, you're then for looking like a liar. Everything that spewed from that woman's mouth was a lie. I saw no truth from her. We can put our testimony up there. She is, oh my God. She won't in a particularly good lie. I think that I don't even see how the prosecutor put her up there.
I mean, it's simple, Corey. I mean, the fact of the matter is, she knew she was wrong. I don't know if
Mhm.
she anticipated this was. I mean, it's unfortunate
How
that
she hadn't
she.
anticipated she text, come shoot the stuff up.
I'm inclined to believe her too at her statement that
Which one? What?
she was upset. She was angry. She said some stuff she didn't
Mhm.
mean at the moment. I'm
What
inclined to
she tell
believe
the
her.
mama? What about what she told the mama on the phone call? Like she had it several
There's no way.
times.
They had no way of listening to. They had no way of listening to the phone call, the conversation.
That's what I'm saying. But what we have to take, because at the end of the day, you have a testimony from the mother of what she said. So you either saying the mother is lying, which at the end of the day, you have a liar, a known liar, a person who is knowingly lying, and you have a person who you are. At the end of the day, she's cooperating. You haven't found anything to be said to be a lie. Why would you believe the liar?
I don't know. I'm kind of leaning on instinct here.
Uh, and the instinct is, man, my guy is frozen again, bro. I do not know what's going on. Hey, Tiff, go on up there, help my brother out, man. Help my brother out. I don't know what's going on with him. But like I said, yeah, I'm more inclined to believe the mother. So, like I said, those four came up, and the first thing that happens is the brother from Travis Rudolph's testimony. The brother answers the door first and goes outside. Travis Rudolph grabs out of his bag his um his assault rifle. The first thing he grabbed is his assault rifle. Hamp, do you know what kind of assault rifle? Yeah, reset the router. That's what I did from original. I don't even think he came on this time. He froze in the timeout. Yeah, you got to reset your router. Yeah, but he grabs the assault rifle over top of the handgun. They asked him why. He said he just grabbed the one that was there first. Right. So he went downstairs and he set the assault rifle on the couch. He did not bring the assault rifle out. He set it on the couch. He go outside. And he said he went to uh Keyshawn, I believe Keyshawn, because it was the only person he knew. Went to Keyshawn to try to, what I'm saying, just diffuse the situation. They asked him why. Did he figure he can diffuse the situation? He said because his mom was out there. He didn't figure they would go that way if his mom was out there, and he was wrong. So instantly when he went out there, he got punched by one of the individuals. I forget which one. And then they proceeded to jump him and his brother. And they go and say that it was fighting for their life. Now, this is a key point of the testimony. He said that he heard them say, "It's demon time, you're going to die tonight." Why is that important? Because the minute that you hear that, that could be an argument to say that you perceived that your life was in danger. So I want to get y'all thoughts on this. If you was out there getting jumped and a person said you gonna die today, from that point right there, do you think it's reasonable to assume that you this a life or death situation? You ask yourself if that's true or not, because the other witnesses at hand say they did say that. So if you're gonna say, you're either gonna say Travis was lying, his mama was lying, his brother was lying, and key witness was lying. So I'm inclined to believe that. Yeah. So what y'all think? Do y'all think that he had a valid argument for saying that he was in fear for his life? I'm not saying validate and justify the shooting, but saying that he was in fear for his life. At the end of the day, I'm truthfully, I'm in fear for my life. The minute you started jumping me, you ain't have to say nothing. You can kill me. You can go too far. At the end of the day, I don't know. I can't count on you stopping to beat me to death. I've been plenty of places, and I know times that people didn't beat people to death. You agree, George? Yeah, at the end of the day, when you getting jumped, your life is in their hands.
I'm good this
Please,
time.
please, please. You good this
I'm good
time?
this time. I'm
You
good
don't
this
look
time. I'm
good.
great. It
You
don't
don't
look
look
good.
good. We hoping it's good. You drop your what's name down.
Yeah, I
You-
switched. I switched my data source.
all right. All right. Well, like I was saying, the question I was perceiving was I got outside to the point of where Travis was getting jumped. And I said what he heard. And the key reason why I brought that up is that he heard that they said it was demon time and that he's going to die today. That was his testimony. And I asked the people in the chat, do they think that was a valid reason to be in fear for his life? My boy CJ out here. Shout out to my boy CJ, man. Good friend of mine, man. Right about that. Right about that. CJ would have clued that. Hey, the minute he said it's demon time, you gonna die today, we know what that means. At the end of the day, I'm in fear for my life at that point. I'm in fear for my life. What I said, the minute you start jumping me, because my life in your hand. And me out here saying that, you don't got to say nothing. The minute you start jumping me, I'm perceiving that you're going to kill me. I have no reason to believe that you're going to see me beat to a pulp and going to stop. You can beat me to death. You come here with 4 individuals. Why are you here? What's your point?
Okay. Okay. Cool. So we're not gonna. I mean, I guess there's a detail to me that's bothersome in it. All right.
Yeah,
Detail
tap
one.
into that.
Detail one. Um, they was in the car. They were
Oh,
going the
I'm
other way.
still in the yard. I never went to the car yet. Never
Okay.
went to the car.
So
Because I'm not saying
you still
reason
in
to
the yard.
shoot. I'm saying reason for fear for his life. I'm not saying reason. I'm trying to go through this thing step by step. Like to the car, we can get the justified shooting or not. But I'm
Okay.
saying, does he have reason to fear for his life? Can you validate that he should have been afraid for his life?
Yeah.
All
Yeah. They didn't come. They didn't come there to talk about
right.
it. That's clear about
They ain't come for a
that.
conversation.
Nah.
Agree.
They found him guilty of whatever the sister said he did in their house.
Yeah, no questions.
Yeah,
They didn't want to
yeah.
talk at all.
They ain't want to talk about
So
it.
so we can go to the evidence at hand of him going back into the house. We're about to meet to the car. But when he said that he saw, if I'm not mistaken, he said he saw, was it Tyler? He said Tyler with a gun. And at that time, they asked him, "Did Tyler point the gun at you?" He said, "I didn't give him a chance. I went back in the house to get the gun." He said he don't know. He said he went back in the house, got the gun. When he came out, they have moved. They have moved to another area. So his brother wasn't there. So he came out the house with the gun and went after her because his brother was down there. And he just saw this man with the gun, Tyler with a gun. So now we can get to the car. You can pick up from there because I mean, I basically took
Okay. All
the
right.
first scene. You take the second.
Okay. All right. And here goes the. I think I don't know if you covered this part. So initially, you do know. Did you not? Did you start with the knock on the door?
The
Did
knock
you
on
talk
the
about
door.
the knock on the door?
No,
All right. So because the knock on the door is important.
they're hard
The
knock.
knock on the door, the hard knock on the door. All
Like
right. So what
police
ended
were
up
there.
happening is, yeah, when she left, you know, he was thinking that was the last time he was gonna see her. So is what he's saying. But all of a sudden there's a knock on the door, and it sounded like the police. His mom is a little bit startled. They have this big camera system that they can see outside the house. You know, for other reasons, we get a backstory to that a little bit later.
Mm-hmm.
But he decides to go get his firearm, and
Mm-hmm.
he goes to the door.
Mm-hmm.
They asked him where he laid his firearm, and he said he laid
Couch.
it on the couch by the door.
Mm-hmm.
We on the same page here, right?
He didn't take it out. Nope.
Okay, all right. So it's on the couch by the door. All right, so he gets outside and he doesn't take his weapon because he's thinking he can talk his way out of the situation.
Exactly. I said this. Yep. He
He's
said
thinking
he
he's
could
gonna.
diffuse the situation, and he didn't think they were gonna do anything with his mother there.
Yeah,
That's what his testimony was. Yeah.
yeah. But as soon as he went outside to get to talking, he got sparked up. Like,
Yeah.
like,
Rocked
like,
off.
like, yeah,
Left eye.
like the dude.
Clean.
Yeah, the dude on the left side stole him. It was three other guys on the right side, and they commenced to pummeling this professional athlete, this gladiator.
Mm.
His brother comes out to try to help. Now, this is where I have a hard time believing this story part. He said at some point it was 1 against 3, and then the other time it was 3 against 1. You get what I'm saying, Corey? Like he said, it's going back and forth, right? And then all of a sudden he sees a gun.
Mm-hmm.
We tracking?
Mm-hmm.
So now it's 4 against 1.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so it's 4 against 1 now,
I
right?
gotta put that comment up there. Hit it, bro. Hurry up here before you freeze again. Right on time, bro. Ooh, you can't make this up, boy. George, you were right about that, Joe. That's crazy. He went straight out too. Could put him in timeout. But yeah, 4 against 1. My argument against him, I hate to make it while he was here. Anybody that has ever been in an altercation when they got jumped, I've been jumped by 2 people, a female and a dude. Things happen very fast and it's very, very cluttered. So to say how many people swing on, really, you're doing a whole lot of moving. You can't match out with punches coming from you. Trying to keep moving. If anything, for them to ask how many people was hitting you at that time, it's kind of unfair. Anybody that been in a fight know after you get out of that scuffle, you cannot recall everything that happened in that fight. Everybody is in here. If you ever been in any altercation, you know as well as I know, you don't know how much going on. You can tell, like, hey man, this happened, swing came from this way. I don't know how much happened, but a lot happened. So it's reasonable to say that that's fair. That's fair for him to say. I'm pretty sure he's just tossing something out there. They gonna ask him how many people were hitting him. Enough. That's why I would say enough people was hitting me. At the end of the day, they was hitting me. So when he says the gun, that he saw the gun, it's reasonable for you to look up and see a gun. That's just something that happened. I would like to know where Hamp was going from that because that seems quite obvious to me. That's the first thing we'll ask him when we get out and hurry up and get a 5-minute questionnaire on that. But yes. So moving on to the arrest and charges. So he was arrested with before I go to the car scene. Yeah, there you go. Hey,
I
George was right, bro.
you know what? Listen, man.
I think he
I
the
sent
one
you.
doing it.
It might be. I sent you a screenshot, man. It keeps. It's a. I'm getting a notification from Restream.
Hold on. It says a notification from Restream. Like they kicking him out or something. I ain't getting no screenshot from him. It got to be his internet because I ain't getting no screenshot from him. I'm sorry, y'all, for the technical difficulty. I can't really be mad at Hamp because I'm using the one that has technical difficulties. But like I said, all right. So what was getting up the arresting charges? So he was arrested, charged with murder and attempted murder, right, on 3 counts. Right. So what happened when he got to the car? There you go. I didn't get that text message from you, Hamp. I didn't get no text message from you. Screenshot or nothing.
It's it's Restream, man. Because I'm getting a notification from Restream. But anyhow, I
Yeah, but
just
I'm
switched my
saying you didn't
page.
see me no screenshot. I'm waiting for the screenshot.
All right, but back to where
I'm
we
not
are.
saying you
Back to
wrong.
where
I'm
we
just
are.
saying I'm trying to see what it is. Yeah. So my argument against that was when you getting pummeled in the dirt, it's hard to count how many people hitting you. You would know that. I mean, pretty
Yeah,
sure
but
you
what
if
I'm
you ever
saying
been
is,
in.
if that was the case, he saw a gun, he runs in the house, he runs in the house, he leaves his brother out there fighting for him.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now he said in the beginning that he left the gun on the couch
Mm-hmm.
by the front door.
Yep.
So how in the time that it takes from you to get inside the house to get the gun that they already in the vehicle and then pull it out the yard? Matter of fact, because the vehicle was never in the yard. You get what I'm saying, Corey?
What you mean?
The
The
vehicle was
vehicle
never
was
in
down
the
the
yard.
street. You saying the
Exactly.
time
But
that while this
it took
happening, they was letting up. They was letting up. So they had let up off him. So he went to go after he saw the gun. He
okay,
went to go get
he
it.
saw
They could be
he
leaving
saw
right at that time.
okay.
Distance
So
from distance. You're traveling away from each other. You cover
from the
more
porch,
different traveling away from each other. Yeah.
well, I'm saying it's from the porch to the house to get the gun.
Yeah.
By the time he gets back outside,
Yeah.
they in the vehicle. Now he never
Mm-hmm.
knew what the vehicle was at first. You get what I'm saying? Because he said that. He said he
Mm-hmm.
never knew what the vehicle was, so obviously it wasn't in his
Mm-hmm.
front yard.
Yeah,
So
but you could tell the direction they head still.
yeah, still nonetheless,
Mm-hmm.
by the time he gets out there, by the time he gets out there, all 3 of them are in the vehicle. Now you know how hard it is to coordinate 3 guys getting in the vehicle, and the vehicle is
No.
moving. So he didn't came down, he done ran down the street, he done ran down the street with the chop or the AR. He had an AR, and he's claiming that they pointed guns out the window at him. So he done let off 39 shots in his residential neighborhood. You feel me?
Yeah.
39 shots in his residential neighborhood in a vehicle that is heading the other way. Now here goes the thing about it. This is the funny thing about the shooting. None of these guys were shot in the back.
No, one of them was hit in the back.
Mm-mm. Now the
What's the
testimony
name?
says that they were shot left or
Tyler
right.
Robinson had one wound in his back. Yeah.
No, they
The
what I saw today what the prosecute well I'm sorry the defense said not one of those guys was shot in the back. They were all shot left or right. My question to you is this:
mm-hmm.
if he done ran down the street and then got
Mm-hmm.
parallel with this vehicle and he done fired 39 shots into the vehicle, is this
I don't
really
think the
self
vehicle
defense
will
that was
parallel. What I think was eventually you see the vehicle. When you saw the vehicle, you saw the vehicle initial back up because they could not just get out from it. It
yeah
ain't like they drove straight out. They backed up first. So this is the reason why he says the vehicle was pointed at him. So they going the testimony they saw is just turned off and they just see him. But
yeah
you don't see him in that shot first. You don't know if he behind a tree or not. So when they back up, they could be facing him when they first back up to put it back in drive. But he says at that time he saw a firearm pointed through the window, and he said he saw the other one individual pointing through the door frame. which is reasonable to see. And they could have drove back. But the minute you see that, that's when he let off shot. You got to think about the vehicle is facing you. They could be going forward, but the minute they go in reverse to park, they're in station. Reverse to park, you got to transfer. It ain't no way to go back in the meeting forward. When you go back and you pulling back for it's a pause there, right? And at that pause, if them guns are pointing at them, what is it? What is it then?
I get what you're saying. So, because this is another question that I felt like the prosecution should have asked. He said, and I remember that part you talking about where he said he saw the guns through the windshield.
Yeah.
Okay. Who points guns through the windshield?
Through the windshield?
What time? Yeah.
I would imagine at the moment that they see him coming down there with his gun, at the end of the day, you would shoot through the windshield. Yeah. And he out again. Yeah, see, can I would like to get Tiff to call in, but I gotta see where I gotta send it to. You gotta you still got my email, Tiff. If you send me an email, I can bring you in. That's the only way I could do it. You have to send me an email. Yeah. If you send me an email, you put your email in the chat. I can send you one. You could join in. That way you could be my co-host while doggone help keep getting kicked out. I can send it to you. But like I said, my contention point is that you might need a call in, man. You got your phone?
Yeah.
I'm gonna send you.
It's the app though. Yeah, send me the link. Yeah, just send it through my phone. But yeah, it's definitely the
to
app
your phone.
way.
But you can go ahead and talk while I'm doing that.
Yeah, but so the fact that the weapon is pointed towards him, it's very concerning. Like if you're saying that you're pointing throughout the window, but they never even fired off one shot. And then secondly, they never found a second weapon. You know what I mean? They never found a second weapon.
They never found a second weapon. Why? Why didn't they find a second weapon? They didn't really find the first one. Yeah, they didn't look for it. She said she did not look for it. The investigator said she did not look for it. And the only reason why they found the first one is because of what? It's because a dog sniffed it out and found it. And these weapons, remind you, they said they had no guns until they found the gun. And your boy Tyler Robinson, Mr. Don't Remember a Thing, said he had a gun, which is the biggest liar in the whole case. Tyler, from the way I hear it, Tyler Robinson was in love with old girl. He liked her. He said it on the stand that he loved her, right? So at the end of the day, he was coming there to defend her honor. Unless you don't believe that's true. And then from the get-go, he said, when he first met him, that's what he said. Admits he took the gun. Hold on. The prosecution asked him on November 8th of 2021, did he receive a text by Dominique to shoot that junk up? Did he receive that text? He said no. He and that turned out that was a lie. They found out he did receive a text. Other junks he received a whole lot. Travis come out shooting. Travis, he said this was his testimony to prosecute. He said he came out shooting. He heard Travis' mom tell him stop shooting. And then he was shooting. He had trouble with sliding the gun. Travis was shooting him as he was running away. All of this stuff is a lie. Fabricated. When they subpoenaed him again, they found out that all of this stuff, he said, I don't remember anything. He didn't remember who shot him. He did not remember that he got texts. He did not remember they met up at his house. He did not remember anything, not one single thing. Now, if I ask you that you have a valid person to lie, why would you believe anything that he said? You telling me that you, out of all of this stuff, in a night where you were shot, you don't remember anything. No, that's a sign of a person lying, and they don't want to get caught up in the lie because he found out that it was video evidence, and he didn't want to get caught in the lie. That's another day. I'm saying, I'm just seriously.
No, I
Yes, I
mean,
would agree, Kevin. He
I'm
should have
not.
just shut up. Should have just shut up. But
Yeah,
he's lying.
no, I mean, yeah. So the thing is, nobody wants to. Nobody wants to testify. Nobody wants to testify. Um, probably a longer one. Yeah, he probably want to testify. He didn't want to testify. So that was the biggest issue. The next thing in it, I don't even think that part matters as much as the fact of dealing with just dealing with the regular facts. The regular facts are the things that are undisputable. Undisputable, they were in the vehicle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody was getting beat on again.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Um, he's saying they had guns in the vehicle. He's saying they pointed like whatever he's
Mm-hmm.
talking about. Like it really is. The fact of the matter is, he fired 39 shots, bro.
All right. And with the argument that they said, if you justify one shot, it's easier to justify the other ones. It's easier to justify the others. At the end of the day, he's gonna shoot until he's no longer in fear for his life, and you can't determine when he's no longer in fear for his life. So he let off 39 rounds. But the question is, was one of the rounds justified? Could you agree if he would have shot once, that would have been justified? So the rest is subjective.
I,
If you're
yeah, I
gonna
mean, like,
justify one, then the rest of them is subjective. At the end of the day, if he saw two guns pointed at him and he let off one round, and you're saying that's justified, then you will have to say which one won't. And he can shoot plenty of other times. Would y'all agree with that? He's justified for one. I told him he can go in, he need to go on here and call in on his phone, man. I don't know why he keeps saying that the restream saying that, John, because it's just odd enough that they just saying it for me. But like I said, the stand your ground law. So they eventually put out a motion for stand your ground, which got denied. The minute he left the house, he gave up that stand your ground. There's also another thing called castle. Had it here somewhere. I wish it's called castle domain or something like castle drop doctrine, which saying you can defend your house. Stand your ground would be outside of the home, and the other one would be some of your streams are connection is a standby. We are trying to restore them. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It would be you. There we go. There you go. All right. We good. We're gonna get mobile hamp. We're gonna get mobile hamp here. Mobile hamp. It looked like he about to record. Nah, you on the side. All right, there we go. Mobile hamp looked like he recording the shooting himself.
I'm good. Give me 1 second to set this phone up.
Yes, castle doctrine mean that you can protect your dwelling. You're sideways though, hamp. Yeah, that's what you want to be.
Got it.
Yeah. And stand your ground would be outside your dwelling. But he relinquished both of those when he left the house. Yeah, I'm gonna turn your volume down just a little bit. All right. Yeah, castle drop doctrine. Yo, what's up, Gator? I ain't never called about his brother. What's up, Gator? But like I said, castle drop. God, I'm having bad feed, man. I gotta turn him down some. All right, Hamp, say something.
Yo, I'm here. I'm just trying to set my mic up.
I got you. I had to turn you down a little bit because still getting bad feed. Turn me down. Yeah, there we go. What's up, big dog, man? Sorry about the connection issues. My boy Hamp going through it over here. But like I said, stand your ground law did not apply. The charges that he got off was strictly self-defense. At the end of the day, they did not find reasonable cause to find him guilty. At the end of the day, what the defense said, you can say whatever you want to say about video. Nobody was there to validate that that man did not see two guns pointed at him. And you cannot see that because the the investigators did not do their proper job. She did not search the scene for another gun. And at the end of the day, she only found the other gun because of a dog. The dog ended up finding it, but she believed these people straight off of what they were saying. She, at the end of the day, she convicted him already in her own mind and said that he was guilty. You still there, Hamp?
Yeah, I'm trying to get my stuff set up, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, all right, all right. You gonna try it one more game? No sound from you. You gotta unmute yourself. Try it one more game. You look a lot clearer though. I don't know what you got going on, but you do look better now.
I think I'm good, man. If I
Yeah, I
ain't
think you're
good,
good too.
if I ain't good, I'm gonna be inside the comments, bro. I ain't gonna stop it
Yeah,
no more. All
we
right.
ain't gonna stop it no more.
Yeah, I'm gonna be in
Yes,
the
yes,
comments
yes.
after this. All right, go ahead.
All right, but like what I said stand your ground did not apply because he left the dwelling. Castle doctrine did not apply because he left the dwelling too. But at the end of the day, I think it was justified because of the fact of if that car is pulling forward, I do believe that they pointed the guns at him. I'm inclined to believe him because at the end of the day, the testimony that I've seen from others, the other people in that car, is liars. At the end of the day, the whole case builds me to believe him. From the start to finish, I believe him just because of everything along the lines. I see individuals that came there to do that man harm. And that man, at the end of the day, it's a series of events that lead to something. You can ask a person, why did you do this? But I have to stem. I would have never been put into this situation if such and such didn't happen. If you didn't start beating my brother, if you didn't start doing this, if you didn't start doing this, everything leads to everything. And it gets to a point where I see two guns pointed at me. So the question is whether you believe the two guns were pointed at him or not. And I do. I simply do.
Okay, so check this out, right? For one, I think that to give the backdrop, she is extremely unlikable. It's
Yes.
hard. It's hard to. It's. And
I don't
she's
think nobody in the comments like him.
yeah. I mean, like I don't think nobody in the jury is gonna like her. I don't think nobody who listens to the case gonna like her. She is an extremely difficult woman to deal with. So
Hmm.
that's thing one. Thing two, the from
Hmm.
the police department, the prosecutor. It wasn't gonna be a fair trial anyway, because there wasn't enough evidence anyway. Like they weren't looking, and this is a little bit of a problem with the judicial system. I think the way it's set up, she's incentivized to win. So she's not incentivized to get justice. So on the other side of it is you got to get an attorney that is willing to do all the dirty work and heavy lifting. And luckily that his attorney was better because for one, you're right, they didn't look for extra weapons. They only interviewed people for 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
10
10 minutes
minutes.
of interview.
Yeah, I mean, so we'll never really get the real details of it. So
Agreed. But that
so
could have been details to validate him that he wouldn't have had to go through this trial. It's a lot of like a picture if they found the other gun. That's spot on to his testimony.
yeah,
That's spot
yeah.
on. You find another gun, then you can validate that two guns were drawn.
They didn't even interview his brother.
No, never did.
I mean, there's parts of it. There's parts of it that story might not have played out the way you wanted to play out. Excuse me, because
I
now there's
don't
only
want it to
one
play
person.
out anyway. I don't want
Because
it to play out anyway.
no, I'm not saying you. I'm just saying period. Because one thing that I've noticed in this situation is nobody nobody can say what happened from the time that he went in the house. You get what I'm saying? From
Yeah.
the time that he went in the house and came back out, that's the important part of it. The butt whipping, it's just details in it. You get what I'm saying? Because at that point, the butt whipping wasn't a threat no more. Like so, really, the time that transpired between his brother being outside, what happened to where they took off running anyway? And the only thing that comes to me was logical in that situation. They came there to beat on the boy. If they came there to shoot him, they could have shot him. That's not what they came there for.
But they had a gun.
Okay, but what I'm saying to you is, if they wanted to shoot, they had ample opportunity to shoot them boys the whole time.
But the text message was by old girl, Dominique, come through and shoot this SHAT up. They come there with a gun. I'm not even talking about what I'm not saying what your intentions is, because once it's me, Ham. I'm at my crib.
I
I
get what you're
know
saying.
I
I'm
know
not saying
these
you're
things.
wrong.
You're asking me as a person to believe everything I'm perceiving is a lie and go off of trust with my life. That's a huge gamble for a person
I
to
get what you're
gamble
saying,
their
bro.
lives on the fact of what I everything that my eyes is telling me is true, that you're going to kill me.
Okay. In this situation, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna throw it back on one of the things that you asked me before on this podcast. You've asked me, how would you feel if that was in your neighborhood? You've asked me about that when we were talking about certain things. All right, so I'm gonna say here and say this: if that situation happened next door, right? He got beat on. He chased these boys who done hopped in their car, and you come out here and you fire
That's why
39 shots.
hold on. Like that word right there that's not the typical word. He didn't chase him.
Oh, I saw him running out. Put it like this: there's video of him coming out. He
Yeah.
ain't got no
He could
shoes
be
on.
running out there, but not
And I'm
chasing
just,
them. He's trying to
what I'm
get to
saying
his
is,
brother. His
you saw
brother
the
down
video
the
like
street.
I saw. Yeah, you saw the video like I saw the video.
If LT's down the street getting jumped, what would you do?
Listen, this happened in the front yard. See, this is the part that the prosecution didn't piece together well, because, and this is why I think that representation matters in places, because if she had any type of idea of what something like this should look like, this is what it should have looked like. He came outside from the front porch, right? He in the front yard. And he gets stolen. So if he gets stolen on there, that means the fight happened in the yard. You tracking?
Yeah.
So there ain't nothing for us to even argue. Ain't nothing for us to even argue. The fight happened in the yard. Okay. He says he saw a gun. He said he saw a gun. So he runs in the house to get one. You tracking? The car wasn't in the front yard. Look, the car wasn't in the front yard, Corey. You get what I'm saying? So these boys, when they saw him run into the house, they were like, somebody said he going to get a gun. That's what they thought.
Yeah. Agreed.
And they took off.
Yeah. Yeah.
To their vehicle.
Yep.
For some reason, the brother is in pursuit of them.
Oh yeah, I would agree. The brother went down there to keep fighting.
Yeah.
But that don't stop. That don't change anything about the
case. Saying that. But here goes the crazy part about it. This is the crazy part about it. Where was his brother when they got in the car?
He was like 10 feet. They show him on the video. His brother was there. His brother was close. Then you see him coming to view.
So check this out, right? Because I know the thing that I'm thinking in my mind, I'm not finna let that AR go. If my brother's over there.
He said that.
Exactly.
He said that. He didn't shoot.
Exactly. So at this point, you're not in the adrenaline part of this thing. You're sitting here and you're thinking, is my brother in harm's way? Is he anywhere close for me to let this thing go? Is he anywhere in it? You get what I'm saying? And now he's making decisions. You get what I'm saying? And so this isn't about self-defense, because if it was self-defense, that's not what crosses your mind.
What are you talking about?
He's making sure his brother's out of the way. He's making sure his brother out of the way.
What I'm saying, his brother, no, he won't making sure his brother was out of the way. He didn't fire. He said he did not fire. His testimony was, they said, why didn't you shoot? He said, because my brother was there. That's reasonable. Nobody gonna, like, if you see your brother in a scuffle where you just gonna shoot off, nobody's that in the world kind of man. When he saw them in the car, then he sees the gun.
He sees the gun. And what time are we talking about, Corey?
At the time the car backed up and
I'm talking what time of the day. That's one of the things we ain't talked about. What time of day? It's nighttime. It's nighttime.
It's not that hard to see a gun at night.
Okay, all right. They ain't got no
headlights. You step outside right now and somebody point a gun out their car.
I'm talking about inside. I'm talking about looking inside the windshield.
Yeah.
I'm talking about looking inside the windshield and seeing guns pointed through the windshield.
One's pointed through the door frame now. One pointed to the door frame now. Come on now. One is
Man,
pointed through the door
bro,
frame.
bro,
Through
you
the
know
inside.
that. You know that ain't the truth. I mean, I get it. I get the defense. I get the defense.
I
And the
believe
burden
that.
of proof, and the burden of proof is definitely on the prosecution, not on the defendant. And I get that. So there wasn't enough evidence to convict them, but you and I both know we smart enough to know, hey, bro,
Well, let me ask you this.
it's a little
Tyler
bit.
Robinson said that he forgot he had the gun in his pocket.
He don't want to go to jail.
Let me ask y'all that. If you got your gun on you in a shootout, right? Somebody shoot at you, would you forget you had your gun?
Now he ain't forget.
That's the
No,
dumbest
no, no,
thing
no, no.
I ever
Listen,
seen somebody.
no.
That's
Everybody
up
got
there
to.
with John Moran saying it was a toy.
Look, check this out. Check this out, right? Everybody got a plan to get hit in the mouth. When that AR started sparking at the rate of speed it's sparking, and it's hitting that vehicle, all plans go out the window,
Yeah.
and that boy hit the floor. He probably dropped it. He probably dropped the gun. To be
He
honest with you,
probably, yeah, I would agree. He probably
he
dropped it.
probably dropped it. Probably under the seat. It don't tell him where it was at, but they didn't exchange fire. This wasn't a shootout. And then
Mhm.
again, like the boy said, at some point, he said after the vehicle got hit almost 40 times, what he felt like, he said it was completely silent in the vehicle and the vehicle wasn't moving. He thought everybody in the vehicle was dead.
Hey man, listen, you're bringing up testimony of a guy that's just a liar, bro. I mean, the minute
I,
that I hear him lie at least about 5, 6 times, I'm
yeah,
sorry. When he's on that stand,
but
I cannot take anything. He is not credible.
yeah,
He's no longer credible, bro. I can tell you 5, 6 times where it's confirmed that he was a liar.
yeah,
So why would you believe the one point? That's
but
what I'm
see,
saying.
but this is the thing. See, and this goes to this. That prosecution, I can tell by every last one of them that got on, they did not prepare them to take the stand. Would you
How
agree
can
to
you
that?
prepare? How can
What
you
do you
prepare?
mean?
He made the testimony. It's recorded. His first testimony is
Yeah,
recorded. When he
I'm
come
talking about
back,
when they
he
get on the
changes it.
stand. I'm talking about when they get on the stand.
Hmm.
Like when you look at the young lady, the people in the vehicle, like there was no preparation in it. There was. Here goes the thing. I don't want to say that he deserved to
You don't
die.
have to be prepared when you're telling the truth. The truth don't have to be prepared. Lies have to be prepared.
Okay, I can give you that. I can give
Yeah.
you that.
A person tell the truth. They don't have to be set up or nothing. And he met with the four. All three of them met together at the hospital and they talked.
Hmm.
They had conversation before he went to go meet the prosecutor. He had time. And that's when he came back and said he didn't know.
Yeah,
He didn't know. He
and,
didn't want to incriminate himself.
and I'm not even talking about that stuff. I'm talking about you could tell that the prosecution before they examined them, they hadn't prepared for it. The young lady looked like she just didn't know what to do. Like the prosecution, like I feel like this. I feel like this is why these young people who got gold chain. If you live in that street life, you better put money away for a lawyer.
He said
Cause
they
this,
messed around and found out.
yeah. I mean, I, again, because I feel like I hate that I'm on the side that I feel like I wanted to see that man in jail. Because that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that
I think
I
you
don't want
have
to see.
to, because you know where I was gonna come from as soon as you said that. If you would have switched up, you know where I was coming. I'm glad you did. You stood your ground. Because I was
Yeah,
ready, locked and loaded with a lot of stuff. But I still could get tiff with that. Believe all women. Should we believe all women?
yeah. I mean, man, I'm gonna tell you, I really. Can you imagine the guilt, like when all of this is over?
I think she's a terrible person. I don't even think she cares.
Oh
I think
no,
she's a
man,
terrible
no.
person.
this thing is, this thing is. I mean, she tried to hit. She tore this whole situation up the entire time, and then to think that she just better be glad it wasn't her brother that got killed. You know what I'm saying? That's what she need to be. She need to be thinking her stars. That's the case. It's just his homeboy that got killed. Cause
Yeah,
that's what. That's the only silver lining for her in this thing. But yeah,
yeah.
she tore this
Kevin
thing
said it
up.
right there. What I'm gonna believe is facts. I don't believe all women. I believe facts.
Mm.
At the end of the day, that's what I'm saying. But can we talk about how this case, when it was first put out there, perceived that that man was guilty?
Yeah.
You didn't hear all this evidence. It sounded as though he just simply shot a car up as it was retreating. We didn't hear their testimony. We didn't hear the trials. We didn't hear the lies, the evidence, all of this stuff. Yes, Amber Heard. Yes, but we never heard all of that. So my point is this. This is the reason why you never make early assumptions without hearing the other side. At the end of the day, the other side can have a valid argument for what they said. Once the evidence come out, it can acquit them. I think this was a regardless of you at least can agree that there was not enough evidence. It's reasonable. That's why I'm saying if they were to lock him up, he could be innocent, right? So you could very well be locking up an innocent man, and that's my problem.
Yeah, I mean, because like there's a lot of things that went wrong here, right? So
Mhm.
it's one of those difficult situations because I feel like there's so many bad things that happen that the end justified what happened. You get what I'm saying? But as far as was his life really in danger? Probably not. Was his brother in danger that followed them down and chased him to the vehicle? Probably not. But again, they showed up to the house. They assaulted the man. They beat him in front of his mama. Beat him and his brother in front of his mama. And they got shot. Like that's kind of what happened. But as far as from the legalities of it, I think that under different lawyers and under different prosecution, we see different results. That is what I think.
I think they built the case very, very nicely. And the prosecutors tried to remove the other stuff. They would try to remove the other stuff, not make it seem like old girl started this whole thing, Dominique. They would try to remove all that and just cite that what happened at the road, remove everything else, because a jury they would start building. And at the end of the day, juries when they hear these testimonies, they do pick sides. If you watched any what's name any case you start siding with a certain person, you start picking your side, and it's so far along when you meet that end, you're now at a point. Am I going to change side? I'm already on his side. Now, am I going to change sides? That's what it comes down to. When you met at that point, are you going to change side? Because you on his side through everything, through every single point, from the time of the argument to everything. And even I don't understand what the prosecution were doing. Talking about were you cheating? Trying to make him seem like who cares? The man was cheating or not. At the end of the day, they came there to jump this man and all this stuff. That has nothing to do with the case. They tried to put him on the side, but at the end of the day, you don't like her. I don't think anybody. I haven't met not one single soul that likes that lady.
Yeah, I mean, because it's just a mess, man. Like it's totally a mess. Like from I mean, all of it. I mean, all of it. But the brother has said before, like you should have just stopped dealing with. You should have stopped dealing with her a long time ago. Did you
Mhm.
catch that part? He's like, I mean, so the implication was that
She
she was
said he said she a liar. He never liked.
he said she was emotionally unstable. Like
Hmm.
so, I mean, he and you can see it through all of it. You can see it through her actions. You can see it through her behaviors. I mean, to sit there and think. Here goes another question, Corey. If he did hit her, because that's what we're debating, right? That's what we're talking
Hmm.
about. She admit to punching this man. She admit to hitting him with stuff. She admits to all this type of stuff, right? And she says that he hit her. I'm gonna tell you, Corey. I believe he may have.
She says this all. I don't know,
I
bro.
believe he
I
may
mean,
have. I mean, it has nothing to do with whether he killed the person or not.
remember we talked about perspectives, right? From the perspective, she did slip right outside. So sometimes I think she said he slammed her.
Hmm.
Yeah. So from a personal perspective, I say with women, it could be two things. Cause you could think something is happening to you that's not really happening. What I could say is this, right? So when I go to work, I have a folder with metal, right? Pouch of metal that I work with. And usually, right, when I go through, I see people every day that I speak to them. Hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? And so I see this lady, I forget what her name. I talk to her every day. I speak and I say, hey, how you doing? And right? I got this medal in my hand, not knowing. She turns around with a look on her face like, what's going on? I'm like, what are you talking about? Not noticing. She said, did you touch my butt? I'm like, nah. The medal that I had in my hand had touched her. You get what I'm saying? So from her perspective, that happened. But that's not, I'm like, nah, I'm holding this. I couldn't possibly do it. And once she saw it, she was like, oh, that's what happened. She walked past and the metal brushed against her, but it was seen like that. And she was like, oh, nah. But nah, that's just not what happened. From a person perspective, it could be two different things. Two things could be true. You could have been touched, but it might not have been the way you thought it was. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, I get it. Like I said, like it sounded like, I mean, he was saying some things that she didn't like.
Uh-oh. Man, I'm glad he made it as far as he did. Brother man. When if he come back, we're gonna go on. But yeah, nah, man. Hey, y'all know how I feel towards this girl. But the question I want to ask the chat, man, before we get out there, does she need to be charged? That's a much weighted question. And I think I do owe it to y'all. Let me get y'all time. Does she need to be charged? Because number one, I think she was communicating threats, inciting violence, or something. At the end of the day, is I do not think that's something that should be allowed. Because regardless of that, I think she sparked this whole situation. At the end of the day, she was the reason that Sebastian lost his life. She played on that man that she knew loved him. Because at the end of the day, she called her brother and she called Mr. Tyler that said he loved her on the stand. She called two people that was emotionally involved with her and played them against him. She put a hit on him. I agree. That's what the mother said. The mother said she would not have thought that she would have put a hit on him. And that's basically what she did. She drew on those emotional strings and she played this. At the end of the day, to sit up there and not show any, she was the only person that didn't show any emotions towards. She was straight removed from the whole situation, which was terrible. Terrible. But we have reached that time. I wish my boy can get back up here, at least say peace and love to y'all guys. But thank y'all for tuning in. Sorry for all the technical difficulties. I'm gonna shout out some comments right here before we end this thing. Got a little bit of time to shout out these comments. Hey man, I'm gonna work from the bottom up, man. Golly, boy, y'all did y'all thing. She put a hit out on him. That's what LT said. Rico, at least. They both were violent towards each other. Explain that, Tiff. How you think he was violent towards her? What proof is that? I don't think he. There's no proof that he hit her at all. I can't say that. No, she says that, but if he hit her, why she ain't got no bruises, no scars, no nothing? I mean, against none of that. We have video evidence of her striking him. But we have no proof whatsoever that he ever struck her. And I told you, like, you're believing a known liar. She has lied plenty of times, multiple times. Why would I be inclined to believe her? That's my problem. At the end of the day, it's not usually one way. I want to say it's usually one way. Not saying, but I'm saying at the end of the day, we have a proven liar. None of his testimony. This is what I'm saying. If I can find out this it's four individuals here that have been found to lie, and this one individual has not been. That's what I'm saying. It's not a a rare thing. You know what I'm saying? To not find none of his testimony has been found to be a lie. If it was, I think he would have lost his case. But they validated all his testimony. Not all, or at least they didn't disprove all his testimony. Not one thing, but she been found a liar on a lot of, not just one, a lot of them. So he was in an abusive relationship. I would agree with that. I think she was emotional, strictly from the brother's testimony. Said that she was emotional. Said that she was emotional. Yeah. So I mean, I definitely would agree with that. So thank y'all again for tuning in tonight, man. Sorry for the technical difficulties. I'm gonna close this thing out. We're saying please like, share, and subscribe. Please like, share, and subscribe. At the end of the day, I think we're gonna dive into some things. He said he cannot get back on, but we're gonna close this thing out. We're gonna chat. But thank y'all for tuning in tonight, man. Love yours.